Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laureli Shimayo. This is MeWe Fair, your safe space for authenticity and transformation. We have events throughout the Pacific Northwest, many online, and tonight we have our online fair. There are about 12 practitioners that are going to be here tonight that are offering all kinds of different intuitive readings and energy healings. I'm excited to have you meet them. We're going to go through and have them do introductions, and then we'll be doing an intuitive panel where we answer questions from the audience. If you'd like to ask a question of the panel, please go ahead and just let me know in chat that you're wanting to do that. We will get you on the list. And as I mentioned earlier, you can do that up on stage with us. You can do that from your seat, and you can do that anonymously if you want through chat with me. Thanks for being here and doing this with us. We're able to do these kinds of events together as a community because you are here and participating. So more of these events are listed at jointhefair.com. All right, we're going to go through and have the practitioners introduce themselves. So let's play around with our order a little bit from before. So Sally just got here. Sally, maybe we'll have go first. So you've got a minute each of you to share what you're doing, who you are and what you're doing today. So we'll have Sally, Alina, and then Mike. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was a little bit late. Sorry about that. I'm Sally Hummingbird, and I do intuitive tarot and hypnotherapy, and I have all the clairs. I've been doing this since I was 18 years old. I have lots of experience and lots of different supernatural experiences, which I talk about sometimes. Um, so thank you for coming this evening, and I have a $40 special this evening for tarot. And I will be talking about how hypnosis helps you with the past life resolve issues and fears in this life. And I've also used it to help people with addictions. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. I think next we have Alina, then Mike, and then Arashaya. Okay, Alina, you should be unmuted now. Can we hear you? Oops, now it's muted again. Zoom is being goofy. All right.
Yes, it is. My name is Alina, and I am a certified crystal healer, and I read an astrological oracle called Symbolon. And that is a structured oracle that has astrological symbolism to it, and the image which is tied all together. Um, and I've been reading it for the past 6 years, I just realized today. And this is my main form of divination. That doesn't mean that crystals won't trickle into a conversation. Of course, they will, but I try to integrate everything that I do. The offerings I have for today are the regulation activities in my breakout room, and the choice between two cards readings, the three cards, what I call short with to the point reading, and a 7 card decision making reading if you have a decision to make between two options. And at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, I am offering a talk titled "Doodle Your Way to a Higher Vibe," and this is where your graphics will come in. This is where I will introduce the basics and explain what it is. So feel free to stop by my breakout room. I will be here for the interview panel. I thought I would miss it. Yeah, I was lucky today. So. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you're here, and just feel free to explore. We have still a wonderful professionals. Thank you.
All right, sorry about the garbling. We got parts of that. So there's more information written too about what Lena's offering, and I put a little bit in the chat. Mike is next, and so after Mike, we have Arashaya, and then where was I going next? And then Arrun. Great.
Hi, my name is Mike Hernandez, and I'm a professional tarot reader. All I do is the tarot. I've been reading for 18 years. I've done numerous psychic fairs, metaphysical shops, private parties, corporate events, special events. I've spoken at conferences such as BATS in San Francisco, Trelesnik TarotCon in Dallas, and the Reader Studio in New York. I'm here to help you gain 3 things: the knowledge you need to see yourself or the situation more clearly and plainly, the guidance you need to take the necessary changes or adjustments that you can so that you can move forward, and the peace of mind that comes with having a good grasp of yourself or your situation and what you can do to set yourself up for a good outcome. I'm offering free 1 card readings in my room, 1 per customer, please. General 3-card public readings for $15, and my normal readings for 10 minutes for $30. That's my normal reading. I'm also doing a session called Prediction versus Forecasting in the Tarot, where we compare the two and see which one is better. And I'm doing a general tarot Q&A throughout the entire fair. So if you have any questions about the tarot at all, bring them to me. No questions off the table. Everything's valid. I'm happy to be here with these guys, and I hope you visit everybody and have a great time at the fair. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks.
Great. Thanks so much, Mike. We've got Arashaya and then Arrun and then Echo.
Hi everyone, my name is Arashaya. I'm a Reiki master teacher and intuitive tarot guide as well. I work with energy to help people move out of stress, tension, and feeling stuck into clarity and balance. In my sessions, I combine Reiki, which helps relax the body and release tension, with tarot, which gives you clear insight and direction. I work with real situation, helping you gain clarity and support when you need it. So if you have something you're dealing with, you can join me in my room, which is number 2 tonight, and we can work on it together. So tonight I do a mini session based on donation, so tarot, oracle, and I do Reiki healing as well. I hope to see you in my room. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arashaya. Next is Arrun and then Echo and then Jennifer.
Hi, my name is Arrun. I practice a Balinese traditional healing. So I practice the energy healing, and this healing it supports in harmony of mind, body, and spirit. I am also a Reiki master, a certified crystal healer, an astrologer, a numerologist. But life brought me to this path into the traditional Balinese healing. And today I am offering the traditional Balinese healing on donation basis during this fair. Thank you.
Thank you, Arrun. Next is Echo, then Jennifer, then Reverend Darryl.
Hi, my name's Echo. The modalities I practice are mediumship, tarot cards, and Akashic records. I'll be offering readings for donation. So if you're interested, stop by my room.
Thanks so much, Echo. Then Jennifer and Reverend Darryl.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I teach empathic Shibari. So Shibari is basically Japanese rope bondage, but I do both the empathic version of it, which is in a relationship. So that when you are practicing Shibari, you are in fact learning how to read each other's emotions and connect with your partner. And in addition to that, I also do the stage performance part of Shibari. And so I have just released my curriculum at my website, jenniferwells.org. And my curriculum is the very first fundamental class is only $43. But during this fair, if you want to see an example of my teaching skills and abilities, I can do a private session for $25 where I am in fact going to be demonstrating tying on myself. And then in addition to that, I have a MeWe Fair price for people who want to sign up for a private lesson via Zoom after the fair. That will be $75.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. Next, we have Reverend Darryl.
Hi, I'm Darryl, and I have 34 years experience as a clairvoyant. During that time, I also did massage for about 15 years, and I'm retired from massage, and I am full-time psychic, medium, and healer. So what I'm offering tonight is discounted prices on my regular price. You can go to my website to check that out. And I'm also offering a MeWe $20 off any reading after the fair. One thing I don't do that other psychics do is tell the future. I don't look at the future and I don't give advice. So if you're looking for that, it's not me. But I do a healing, and like I said, 34 years experience of doing that. So I'm looking forward to doing some healing tonight. And that's it. Thanks.
Great. Thanks so much for sharing. Let's see. We are also going to be joined tonight by Diane is coming. Diane Evans, who does, she's going to be sharing Exploring Sacred Geometry as a free talk. She's going to be offering general Q&A on ancestral healing, past lives, curse clearing, manifestation, Akashic records. And then she's going to be doing mini card readings and healings, $30 in her public breakout room. Those are free to watch. And then Sacred Geometry Healing and Activation, that's $35 in her public room and free to watch. And we've got more people coming right now. And I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader, body psychology coach, and matchmaker. I read your eyes, read your soul, and answer questions about your soul, your lessons, your purpose. And I help you make choices about what you do and who you do it with so that you're in alignment with your purpose. And one practitioner is not going to make it tonight, and I think that's covering everybody else. I think maybe the rest of us are here at the moment. I think I'm missing one more person. Who else do I need to list off? Let's go look. Tanya Lay is also supposed to join us. Tanya Lay does mediumship, cards, and inner child work, and I'll be texting her in a moment. She's planning to do general Q&A on mediumship, shadow work, and inner child work. She's going to be doing messages and readings in a private room for $30, and then she has a special with membership to her group that she offers free things monthly. All right, great. Well, let's see. We are getting to the stage of our fair where we're going to do our intuitive panel. Dan, practitioners, if you want, you're welcome to put your information in the chat once. I probably didn't get everyone's ongoing talks in here. You can, maybe I'll share my screen and show again where you can see the whole schedule of what's going on tonight. I'll put a link to this in the chat, and then more people joining us. So if you go to jointhefair.com or the online page that's there in the chat, you'll be able to see everything. I'll share my screen briefly so you can see it here before we get started on the panel. So if you get lost, just come back to this page and click here to join us back in Zoom again. And then we scroll down. Here you can see all the information on the practitioners that are here today. So everyone's here in the grid. You can see, for example, Arashaya. This is generally what she does. This is the breakout room she's in, number 2. Here's her contact info. And then there's an after fair special if you want to do work with her after the fair. And these are all the talks that will be happening that are scheduled throughout the fair. The first thing we do together is the intuitive panel, which is all together in the main room. And then these talks are going to be happening in public breakout rooms. The public breakout rooms are all numbered. They have the practitioner's name and a bit about their modality. You can see which room they're in right here, right? Everybody's got their room. And then these are all the different things that they're offering the public room. So here's a listing by room. So 1, 2, 3, etc., back and forth by color. So those are all the different things you can do tonight. And I have them sorted here by category. These are free. These are by donation. Some of them donations are accepted, so they're in both free and by donation. And these are available in public rooms where you can watch for a small price. And these are available in private rooms. If you're interested in doing a private session with a practitioner, go to their room, let them know, and they will coordinate with you about what room to go to so you can do that private session. And if you're interested in doing the specials with them after the fair, all that information is there on the flyer. You can also ask them about it in their public room, and they'll probably give you the information there too. All right, great. I think everybody got a chance to introduce themselves, right? Someone maybe is fixing some of their tech issues. All right, great. Well, we are open for an intuitive panel where we would like to answer your questions. You can ask us a question on absolutely anything. You'll probably get several practitioners that will answer for you. You can either come up on stage here and be recorded. This is going on our YouTube channel, so you can be recorded, your image and your voice. You can ask a question from your chair, in which case only your voice would be recorded. And if you want to be completely anonymous, you can ask a question through chat. Send me a private chat and I will read out your question. We're excited to talk with you about all kinds of different topics, so please let us know if you have a question for us. and we will explore with you. And let me know if you want it to be public or not. Yeah. If you have a question too at this point, you can just raise your hand in Zoom too, and I just got to find out if you want to come up on stage. So yeah, question on anything. And this is a great opportunity for those of you that are here for practicing opening your intuition, because you could see how you would answer the question for yourself. If you use cards, etc., have them available, see how you would answer. And then as we answer, you can see if we connect with the same kinds of information and the same kinds of healing work that we'd suggest for someone and do for someone. And it's confirmation that we're all tapping into the same kinds of things. And you might have great information or great ideas and healing come through for that person too. We just might not share that. And if you want, I guess I'd say please hold whatever comes through you until we're done answering their question. Then if you want, you can private chat them and see if they would like what you share, what came through you. Please trust if they say no, they might just be full, having received answers from us, etc., and that the information came through you for another reason. And when you ask a question, I should say, whenever you ask, if we go deeper than you want us to go in this public format, or this public forum, or we talk about other topics and things like that, and you want us to just stay in a zone as we answer, please interrupt us and give us guidance. You can tell us ahead of time and interrupt us if we go off course. We want to honor you in this process. All right, great. And I see TB, you have a question. Do you want to come up on stage, or what would you like to do? Great. And I see we have someone else in line that's going to be private. TB, do you want to you can unmute. Do you want to come up on stage? Do you want to ask from your chair, or what would you like to do? You've got your hand up, so I'm just here. I'll ask you to unmute. Maybe you raised your hand by mistake.
Oh,
The
there we go.
Okay.
I wasn't hearing my name clearly.
Did you want to come up on stage, or do you want to ask from your chair?
Yeah, you mean on the Zoom stage?
Yeah, do you want to be on the Zoom stage and then a visual recording?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, great. Let's bring you up. All right, great. What is your question?
Okay, so I'm currently in what I call the passage toward meeting my twin flames soon. And that's an intense experience if any of you know about it. But the question is if and what, but if there's anything that I should like prepare for, or anything to do to prepare for the two-night with her before that happens, or if there's anything between now and that event that needs to happen.
Okay, great question. And yeah, and I guess I was to say I'm a matchmaker, so I totally have things to say about this. So there are many definitions of twin flame. Maybe say a little bit about how you define twin flame, because sometimes twin flame could be a really good thing, and sometimes it could be a very frustrating thing. So
Yeah, thank you for asking, Laureli. So I've been researching twin flames, and definitely I am one. Twin flames are typically ancient souls, often star seeds, and we are essentially I call it a bi-incarnation, where we're kind of like from the same soul or joint soul, but I'm one incarnation, she's another, I think close to my age. Anyway, we're destined to meet. And I know that some twin flames say that they don't stay together for their whole life. I know that we're supposed to meet and settle down together. But yeah, it's an intense experience being a twin flame, and even before you meet them, I first we first became aware of each other by distance almost 2.5 years ago. Um, and at first I didn't know what that was. Um, I'll be honest, I recently separated from my wife that didn't work out. But that's a different story. And so it all is working out just fine. And I started having these visions.
so I
I,
just say, so you don't know who the person is yet. I wasn't quite sure with the way you were
I,
sharing,
I
and I
have not
realized you
met
was mentioning
her
things.
yet,
Okay,
or
you don't know
no,
who
I've not
yeah,
directly met her yet.
you know they're
I,
here.
I've seen what she looks like, and I've connected with her energy. It feels like at times being sandwiched with her energy. It gets very intense, but I've learned to manage that well. So it's a very real and intense psychic experience. But my main question is if there's anything that perhaps needs to happen, or anything I should prepare do before I meet her, or just let the universe bring us together soon, or anything that anyone can say around that?
It's great. And just the reason why I asked what it meant to you is some people talk about twin flames as being like they can't actually get together and it's like torturous, as opposed to a soulmate. So, but other people talk about twin flames as being more like a soulmate, and it sounds like you have more of the soulmate kind of connection. Okay,
Yeah,
great. Well, let me go
this is
ahead
like,
and
yeah, it's not the same as a soulmate, but
Mhm.
very compatible twin
Yeah,
flames.
related. Okay, let's see. We've got answers from Echo, Sally, and Mike. So you've got a minute to answer, each of 45 seconds to a minute, each of you. So go ahead, Echo.
I've recently experienced this myself a little, and I can tell you that person I met, I never should have met them. And so I'm pretty confident that the universe will take care of it. If you're meant to meet, meant to be together, the universe will make it happen for you. So your to do is just to trust that.
I do trust, but thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Echo. Okay, next we have Sally.
I was doing the cards on this while you were talking, and actually I'm getting all positive cards, so I think it's going to be quite lovely. And I wish you all the best because that's wonderful. And just let nature take its course. Get together and see how it feels, but I think it's going to be a very positive experience. So congratulations. At least that's what the cards are saying right now at this time.
Thank
Okay,
you,
great.
Sally.
You're welcome.
Sally, next is Mike, and then Arashaya.
Right, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
About to turn 30.
38? Okay. I'm looking at 71 right now. And I can tell you from experience that there are going to be times in your life when you should just let things unfold, right? Just sit back and let the universe take care of it and just let things unfold. That's after having had different experiences where that has come to place and that has come to play and actually been the best choice of action. Yeah, just let things unfold. It'll work out. Just like I think it was Darryl that said, Darryl, did you say that you have to just let the universe take care of it?
That was me, Echo.
With Echo.
Oh, Echo. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Anyway, but I agree with that. Just let the universe take care of it. Just let things unfold. You'll be fine.
Thanks, Mike. Next we have Arashaya.
Yes, thank you. So I totally think that those things, it's not the best approach, like to chase them. It's better to trust in divine timing. Like the divine definitely knows what's best for you, and when it's the best time for you to happen, that union. Right. So, yeah, probably just as my colleague already said, just sit back and let the things unfold naturally. When everything is aligned, they will totally fall into place for you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Arashaya. And then, so I'm going to speak from a personal place as well as a matchmaker. One is you and I are at similar stages in terms of Saturn return. You're 30 and I'm 58, so we're both doing Saturn return stuff, right? So I just had a relationship end in December. I anticipated that I was going to be single for a long time. Maybe I just wasn't going to date again. I've spent my lifetime dating, and late dating has been a big learning ground for me. That's part of how I turned into a relationship coach and a matchmaker. And surprise, someone else who's also a soulmate, I think of them as soulmates, showed up for me. It's someone that's been around for a long time, and I just didn't know this was ever going to happen. I was really surprised in some ways. And um, while it has been so amazingly good, so many, it's just the connection is amazing. I also, new lessons have emerged. So I guess in terms of preparing yourself, I mean, looking back, I can see like some of my early childhood stuff. There are spaces and areas and some relationships, the key relationship, where I really had not done enough growth and had not faced enough of the things with that, my grandmother in this case, so like a parent. So those are the things that might come up. So go look and see what's there, and the more you can prepare in that way. So it's just readying yourself to be so present and so available and expanding your capacity for how great the connection might be. Those are the things that I would do. And some more tips on that I can share too. All right, and we've got Jennifer.
Hi. So I there's been a couple of times in my life when I have felt like there is a specific person that I am supposed to meet. And I will tell you that because I have so many intuitive friends, it has been indicated to me that I have at least twice attracted someone who was a twin flame, like to myself, and been in a meaningful long-term relationship twice. Um, but what I recommend for you is to write down on a piece of paper the things that you are seeing and what you are looking for. I believe that when you write it down on a piece of paper what exactly you are looking for in a person, then when you see them, then you're more able to recognize them when you see them. And the other thing that I say is if this person really truly is your twin flame, then you don't need to hide yourself when you meet them. Sometimes when we are early on in relationships, we like to put on masks. We like to try and protect ourselves from try and present like your best first impression and this sort of thing to try to impress people around us in hopes that they will like us. And I can tell you that when you meet the one, you don't have to wear a mask. It's in fact, it's better if you don't. Sometimes them seeing who the real you are will sort through the ones who are not your twin flame faster than if you are just yourself and honest and out there being yourself.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. And maybe I can say too, it's like doing all the activities that I love is how I met this person. So yeah, great. All right. Well, thank you so much, Troy, for your question. And things happen, things change. I'm glad you're moving on and seeing what's next. All right. Let's see. We have another question that is anonymous. I was checking to see if there's anything else that, so the person that asked the question, I'm going to read the question and then in chat, is there anything else you want to say about the details? I wrote you a question. So the question is, why can't I or my psychic friend read this one gal?
Why can't they read this one? What?
Why can't we read this one gal, Gal, a woman?
Oh, got it, got it, got it.
Yeah. So I mean, one thing I'll just say is like we all can do filters and shielding, and so anyone can do whatever filter or shield that they want to, and people can set up shields that keep others from reading them. So this person may have something like that. That may be part of what's going on. Okay, yeah, it's a special woman that this person likes. Yeah, so I know for me too, whenever I'm personally invested, I'm attached, right? So I can't read clearly. So if your friend really cares about you a ton, the psychic, there's a friend, maybe they're, for whatever reason they're attached to. It could be that the person reminds them of someone from their early childhood where they can't see clearly. So there are all kinds of things that could be going on. And Mike's got an answer for you too. Go ahead, Mike.
Sometimes I find that tarot is much like doing therapy. We have a lot in common with therapists, and sometimes a person just doesn't want to be read. That's all there is to it. Just like when somebody goes to therapy, if they don't want to participate in the therapy, that therapist is not going to have a good time trying to help them, much less be successful. You have to want to get the help in order to receive it. So it could be that perhaps this person just doesn't want to be read for whatever reason. It could be any number of reasons. I mean, it never has to be just negative reason. It could be they're scared of it, or they're uncomfortable with it, or they're not sure whether something might hear something that they don't want to hear, that type of thing. Any number of reasons. But from my experience, that's pretty much about the only time I can't read somebody is if they don't want to be read.
It's great as a follow-up to that. The person is saying that they don't do witchy stuff or metaphysics or anything like that. And yeah, and people try reading from a distance. It's great. Like I read in photos, that's a distance. So some people don't some people have shields for other reasons. Like they don't have to know any of this stuff. They might just I know this is someone special that you're interested in, but they might have struggles with people, for example, and they've basically put up a bunch of walls and it's effective as a shield. Sometimes people are just, they had a big challenge growing up, right? And they've had lots of trauma. And so they're a bit disguised, so they won't get injured in the same way. There are all kinds of reasons why it's hard to read people, even though they don't know anything about metaphysics. So Echo's got an answer, Arashaya's got an answer, and Reverend Darryl has an answer. All right, go ahead, Echo.
I was just going to say what you just said, that that person is shut down, very hard to reach and doesn't want to be reached. That's
And,
their choice.
and so the person that asked the question, the thing to notice is, was there someone else that you grew up with that's shut down in that way? And that might be part of what your attraction is actually. So like all these things to unwind. Okay, great. Arashaya and then Reverend Darryl. Go ahead, Arashaya.
Yeah, so what I want to say, so when we do healing on somebody, right? Like they don't have to do pretty much anything, but they need to consent, right? So if somebody it's blocking, right? So they don't really want maybe I don't know to show their real face. Maybe they really have something to hide. Maybe it's a trauma behind, like who knows, right? It totally depends on the situation. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So they have to consent, like they totally don't want to be seen. That's very clear to me.
Yeah, and then there's just sorting out why, but yeah, and why that, yeah, what your draw is to all this. Reverend Darryl, go ahead.
Hi, thanks. I hope I can formulate my answer. I have it in my mind. It's been my experience that when I'm not able to read, if I understood the question correctly, it's been my experience that when I try to read somebody and there's matching pictures, say if there's a similar situation that I'm facing that I'm not able to deal with for myself, it's going to be hard for me to read that person. So they may have blocks up, they may have walls up, they may have everything that they at their disposal that keeps anyone else. But if they give me permission to look at their energy, I'll be able to see it. Um, while in a neutral space. And being in a neutral space allows me to make separation from that issue or that situation that I'm looking at, as well as my own situation. So, and that's where I read from, is a neutral space, so we can connect much easier, much more efficient, I think. And yeah.
Great, and Mike's got an answer also. Thank you, Reverend Darryl. Darryl?
I got one of the comment. I just read that this brings a whole new take on this. It said, but the special lady didn't know anyone was reading her. That brings an entirely different aspect to this, right? If she didn't know anybody was reading for her, that's why you can't read for them. I mean, sometimes the block is like Laureli said, sometimes people just have a block around them. And unless they consent, unless they approve, or unless they participate, you can't read them. As long as they approve, or as long as they participate, then all bets are off and you can do the reading, right? But the fact that she didn't know anyone was reading her, to me, explains a lot. But that's my take on it.
And it was just occurring to me too that some people just are not ready to date. They know they don't want to date. It could be they're scared to date again, and so they put a shield so no one can see them. And it effectively then you can't read their energy. So all these things can happen. Oh yeah. So thank you so much for the question. Sorry we didn't give you a better answer, but we gave you a whole bunch of reasons why this might be happening. And so there are opportunities for you to look at you. And then if it's someone that you know, maybe there's an opportunity for you to connect with them so that they get a sense that you're here. Right? Taking risks. Yeah, and she's not from another dimension. We are not saying that. Yep. Well, might not be too, could be. There's a lot of us from all over. Because there's a question in the chat. The psychic friend said that maybe the lady wasn't from this dimension. So yeah, I guess anyone want to say anything about ETs and galactics and visitations and Anyone here specialize enough in that want to say something about those things? Not everyone's from here. Go ahead, Reverend Darryl.
Yeah, we're from everywhere. All of us are not from this world. My understanding, my experience, that we come from other galaxies and we come from other universes. And we often bring in our acquaintances, meaning we bring in spirit guides from those universes and or a galaxy or wherever, or another planet. And sometimes we get information from our spirit guide that is not ready to be here on this planet. And things can go a little wacky for us when we take advice from our spirit guide that is not supposed to be here on this planet yet. If they haven't taken a body, then their information is not going to be pertinent to our information, the information that we need to be here on this planet. So what I'm getting at is maybe there's spirit guide involved. But anyhow, nevertheless, we are all from different places.
And Echo's got a little bit more now too before we finish. Go ahead, Echo.
I experienced recently by talking to someone that really kind of shocked me that they basically stated they were from somewhere else, but you would never know it. Like, they could more than likely are going to look like us if we run into them, and we'll never know. Just be open to the possibility.
Great, great. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your question. Thank you, practitioners, for your answers. All right. We've got another question from someone that asked if they could ask, but I think I've not heard back yet. I've got two other people in line. So if anyone else wants to ask, let me know. So someone whose name begins with an O, you did a private chat. Did you want to ask a question? Do you want to ask in the chat? Do you want to ask from your chair? Do you want to come up on stage? Trying to see if you respond. If not, I'll go on and then we'll. Okay, great. And then that's the next person that's in line. Your question just landed in the. Oh, and you are welcome. Person that last time. So did you want me to read that out? Did you want to say it from your chair? Okay, read it out. Okay, I will do that. Just a moment. Okay, great. So we're skipping over one person. If you want to ask, let me know and we can get to yours next. So this person wants to stay anonymous, so no names. Everyone, I'm coming out of a fractured season of the underworld. I made it back out, always crazy but sane. I'm wondering, since this seems a common theme for me since 2020, can Spirit offer a quick heart healing and or advice on the season that is here now? As I was also called to walk out of 2 jobs recently. What now? What's next? I'm so grateful to have not fully crashed out this time. Whew. Yeah, so grateful that you have not crashed out fully this time either. Sounds like you're getting better at riding these waves and taking better care of yourself and maybe getting out of the mess sooner and all those things. Yeah, so what's now? What's next? Yeah, it's a crazy time for a lot of people. All right, Jennifer's got an answer. Go ahead, Jennifer.
So I'm just gonna share a little bit about myself and say that I am in the same boat with you. Over the past couple of years, I was dealing with breast cancer, and it was kind of phenomenal because during that time period, like I couldn't do the work that I traditionally did. Um, but I had some time off from work, and when I started focusing on if I had just like a few minutes of energy, then I would go into my studio in my home and I would videotape a couple of my lessons. And then that was 2 years ago. And then that just kind of like sat around for a while and I had a job and it was an okay job. But then I just didn't feel like that job was a part of my passion anymore. And so then it was this year that I decided to quit my job in January and focus on what I feel is my real calling, my real work. And I was super excited when I went back to my old videos and realized that they were actually like really good. And so a big part of what I've been doing now is editing them and putting them online. But I guess what my message is to you is like I feel like cosmically I've just kind of been going through something similar to what you're talking about, where it just seems like it's just been a struggle all the time until this year. And I have just strived with doing the one thing that I'm passionate about and learning about it and doing it and putting it out there for the world to see. And this is not a traditional job. I am currently editing videos of myself and trying to sell them on the internet. Um, you know, but I have learned so much about computer skills through this, and I have met so many new friends through this. And so I think sometimes what we got to do is we got to stop looking at things like so traditionally and start asking ourselves, what talents do I have that I am not leveraging right now? That was literally the question I asked myself in January. What talents do I have that I am not leveraging right now? And that question alone, I have woken up every single weekday since the day I left my 9 to 5 job, and I have worked at least 8 hours a day just on my own projects, getting my passions out there and connecting with a new community and meeting new people. So.
That's great. Thanks so much, Jennifer. And these are skills that you do love at the same time, right?
Thank you.
Skills you have and things you love. All right,
Mhm.
we've got Sally, Mike, and Arashaya in line. So go ahead, Sally.
I would totally agree with Jennifer, what she just said, and it was kind of interesting. I've done the same thing myself. I ended up in a place where I had to make a big career change, and I'm decided to do this in a big way. I was doing the cards when you were talking, and I think what I'm picking up is that you're depressed, and I suspect there's something you're not telling us. I suspect you've had a recent breakup with someone, and so you're in the grieving process and you're depressed. So you really need to deal with that, allow yourself to heal. And as she suggested, think about maybe make a list of what your skills are and take that leap of faith and find something that you will enjoy doing. My frame of reference my entire life for a job is either I like going to work or I find another job. And I generally last about 3 years, and then I say, oh, it's time to learn a new job. I'm tired of this. I'm bored. So off I'd go and find a new job. But I love doing this. This is really my calling. And so, but you're going to need to deal with your depression. That's what I'm picking up. So I know that's never fun, and grief really sucks. But we all go through it and we all live through it. And trust me, I've had my share of relationships that didn't work out. But what I can tell you is eventually I did find someone that ended up being my soulmate. And we've been together 22 years, but it hasn't been easy. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. All right, Mike is next and then Arashaya.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a quick little story, and I promise it'll be relevant to what I got to tell you. When I was a young man, I was born in El Paso, Texas, and when I was a young man, I used to play in a band, and we used to play at the sister city in New Mexico called Las Cruces. And we this was the time when you'd play from 9 to 1:30 gigs, right? So on this one particular gig, there's a lot of desert in between El Paso and Las Cruces. And at 3:30 in the morning, as you're driving home in the desert from Las Cruces to El Paso, if the moonlight, if it's a full moon, you can see everything in the desert. I mean, everything. I saw jackrabbits and snakes, and I mean, it's the clarity is unbelievable. Okay. Unlike when it's sunny, I mean, the sun shines and you can see a lot of things, but you can't see it with the clarity that you can with the moon. And that's what's always impressed me. And I've taken that since that day. So keep that in mind. What I saw, I drew a couple of cards real quick while you were talking. What I saw is two things. You have to get past whatever is making you sorrowful. It's done. It's time to move on. It's time to move on. Whatever's making you sorrowful, whatever's making you depressed, like she said, it's time to move on.
She said
That's
in
it.
the chat, do you want to know what it is?
I'm sorry?
She said in the chat, I stepped away from my entire bloodline last year.
Okay.
So that was a huge breakup.
Got it. Okay. So still, you have to move on beyond that. The second thing is now is the time to assess your life and what's happening in your life with clarity, with as much clarity as you can. Hence the moon. You have to see things very clearly and very honestly and take your time and assess what's going on with you right now. That will help you move forward, right? If you understand what's going on, if you understand how you feel about things, if you understand how things are working out, you can move on. You can make plans, you can make assessments, you can make judgments, right? But the whole idea now is assess, move forward. That's the two cards I got. That was the strongest message: assess and move forward. And I agree with Sally that the depression she saw, I saw on my card. That's the whole notion of moving past whatever's making you sorrowful, right? So I think we're in sync there. So that's my 2 cents.
Great, thanks, Mike. And Arashaya is next.
Yes, thank you. So I want to tell you my story as well, right? So I used to work in the corporate environment for like my whole life pretty much, right? And at some point I decided, okay, I'm like I really have to make a decision and like really follow my calling and really step like 100% into that life. N Not just be split between two worlds, right? So recently, I actually made a decision. I left the corporate environment, and now I totally I focus 100% on my calling. Like I help people heal. Like I do. I have all day and online time for do this, and I really love. And I feel this freedom that I totally couldn't feel before. So what I can tell you is that it's so important to listen to your intuition, like to really find out, okay, what's your calling, what's really your purpose into this life, and what I can tell you, what I pick up intuitively, or you really need clarity into this situation, like you need some healing to be done, right? So you can actually move forward and take the best decision for you. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say.
Great, thank you, Arashaya. And then Echo's got something to share.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that myself, I've been through some pretty dark times in the last couple of years and been through some of the hardest times in my life. And I was extremely depressed. And, sometimes when you go through things like that, you think you're the only one in the world that's going through that. But the more I reached out, the more I found out there was other people that were experiencing similar things. And there's some solace in that for you, that we've got to go through some things, but it always leads somewhere. There is another side. We just got to look for it. We'll find it.
Great, thank you. And I guess one other thing I'll share too is if you haven't done anything to connect with your guides, this would be a really good time to do that, because then you'll feel deeply other connections that you have. And then there might also be something to do ancestral, just some ancestral work, because you stepped away from your bloodline, so there's some healing that needs to happen. And then you might also have ancestors you don't know about. that are separate from what you've stepped away from. And so I would work on finding those connections and then also healing what's there. You had to do a lot in order to step away, I know, and there might be some other things there that are part of going through the cycle of grief. All right. Sally's got something to share. Go ahead.
What occurred to me to tell you is, and I've often told clients this, if you've had a very difficult family that you were born to, sometimes you have to walk away for self-preservation. So you make family out of friends and people who love you and support you and care for you. And trust me, I've been down that road. And you will find wonderful people will show up to help you and support you. So if the people that you were born to are toxic and painful, you did a healthy thing by walking away. Make family out of people who love you and care about you and support you.
Yep, the whole idea of chosen family. Yep. Yeah, I had to walk away from my mother when I was 24 and she died when I was 26. Yeah, because I wasn't there giving my life away for her. All right, Reverend Darryl's got something else too, and we've got another question after that.
Yeah, just real quick. This is the year of the magician. If you work out the numbers 20, 26, it comes out to 1, which is the magician and the tarot. And so maybe it's a year for you to manifest and start something new. I've been hearing that theme from the answers from people, that it's time, it's growth period for you. So time to manifest.
All right, great, thank you. All right, I want to go back to someone whose name starts with O. You asked about you said you wanted to ask a question, and then you haven't responded to my messages in chat. Did you want to ask? I'm prompting you to unmute or turn on your video, see if you're there and you're listening. You can ask if you want to, or we got another question. We'll go on. All right, we go on to our next question. So, iPad, you said you wanted to ask something, but then you said you wanted to ask it from your chair. So did you want to unmute and say your question, or do you want me to read it? It's a nice generic name. We don't know who you are from your name, iPad, but we need to know if you want to ask or if you want me to ask.
For you to ask, please.
Okay, great. Will do. And the last person said thank you, resonating with all the stories and advice. Okay, let's see. So the question is, I lost my parents in the pandemic, and I'm just going to, you've got some background noise, so I'll mute you right now, but feel free to let me know if you want to unmute and say something while we do this. I lost my parents in the pandemic, and I have had health complications for myself as well. I am confused as to what my sole purpose is now in the autumn of my life. And I'll say I'm an eye reader. So if you, and I can tell you something about your soul purpose if you send me a photo where I can see your eyes. So I put my cell phone number in the chat. You can send me a photo of your face. And then I'm also going to be doing some sample readings the last hour of the fair. All right, Sally's got something to share. Go ahead, Sally.
I also study astrology, and I found that if you really want some guidance with your soul purpose, you can find that in your astrology, or also by talking to someone who's a skilled practitioner. You have lots of them on here, but that's more of a private chat or making an appointment later. You have some major grief that you're going through, and I'm so sorry you lost both of your parents. That is very hard, very hard. Unfortunately, there were a lot of people that are in the same boat. And some ideas of how to help yourself with your health issues. Again, it would be helpful if you talked with someone privately, myself or one of the other people on this panel that you feel comfortable with. And we could give you some good suggestions how to move forward. But I'm so sorry. You're caught in grief, and there's no easy way out of that. It's never fun.
And Arashaya's got something. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So first of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. That's terrible. And what I can tell you, so when you lose family, when you lose people that you really care about, this is actually deep trauma that you are going through. So years and years after, like if you don't heal that trauma, it will affect all your life, all your decision, any step that you want to take further. So I'm a Karuna Reiki master, which is really focused on healing the trauma, the inner child, right? So by all means, if you want to discuss further, I'm in breakout room number 2. So it's totally up to your choice, but you totally need some healing, like heal your trauma first, so you can move up in life.
Thanks, Arashaya. And then Mike. Mike, go ahead, I think. You're next, yeah.
I thought you said Charlotte and Mike. Sorry.
Sorry.
So it's interesting, the card I got for you. I'll tell you what it tells me, and then you can frame it from within your perspective. I see that you need to bring some balance back into your life. You need to square some things up with some people that you've had issues with in the past, and bring those to rest, bring those to some sort of resolution, and move on. And then, yeah, it's kind of weird to say this, but let your parents guide you from here on out down the road. Just ask for the guidance, and you'll feel it when they give it to you, and just let them guide you down the road. That's the easiest way I can say this from what I'm seeing. Sometimes the tarot is very confusing, because as a reader, sometimes you say, "Oh, this is what I've got to tell them," and it doesn't make sense to me, but it tends to make sense to the person that you're reading for. So, at any rate, so that's what I see, and I hope it helps, and I hope you can do something with that. I'm sorry for your loss as well. I'll join the other readers here in presenting my condolences.
If someone else has something, jump in. The other thing I can say is that even if I can't see your eyes, in terms of sorting out your purpose, for everybody, if you look at what you love, what you so love, when do you feel the most at ease, the most joyful? Where you're doing something that other people want, and it feels so good to you to be sharing that, whatever that is. It might be things with other people, it might be things alone, it might be in nature, it might be some kind of creative expression, just anything, what you love. So really notice throughout the day when you don't like what you're doing, how much you don't like it, when you like what you're doing and how much you like it. Just get a sense, start looking at those things. And when you see the things that you so love, particularly where there's some way that they're of service either to other people or to the larger community, or they could be if they met the right people, those are going to be connected to your purpose. So you can go looking for those kinds of things, even if you don't have specific insight about what that is. And I think you're recognizing like the preciousness of the time you have here. So yeah, definitely send me a photo if you haven't done that, and I'm happy to say something about that. And it looks like Echo's got something else to share.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm really sorry you lost your parents. But I would like to say is that I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, Dark Night of the Soul. It's when we are tried the most in the most excruciating circumstances. And I witnessed this personally, where I went through a divorce and lost my children at the same time. They won't speak to me. So I know what that pain is like. And it's like you lost your whole life in one night. But it was also a calling too, to something else, because it moved me away from my old life, and I discovered something new that actually helped me to move past it. And so I just like to say to while you're going through it, keep your eyes open and notice things around you. You might be surprised.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. All right. Any other answers? And if not, we'll sneak in one more question. Okay, I think we're going to sneak in one more question. It's possible that more practitioners will have things to say too when you come around to the different breakout rooms. All right, so the next question, and this is the O person that was asking earlier, said they were painting. Great, they were painting. They said, I just lost my mom and wanted to see if I could connect with her and check in. So, those of you who do mediumship, yeah, this is from O. I just lost my mom and wanted to see if I could connect with her and check in. What they're painting seems important. I would, as much as you can, I would just let yourself paint mindlessly and see what shows up. Let it flow through you the best you can. And I'm just guessing that'll be some way that your mom is communicating with you. So that's one thing I would do. And I've got another message from the person. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. So, okay, great. Darryl, Reverend Darryl's got something. Go ahead.
If I understand you correctly, it's this is a new person?
This is a new person. Their name
Right.
starts with O, and they just lost their mom and they wanted to see if they could connect with her and check in. And they're on video. The person that's asking, if you want, I can put your face up here. You'll just be recorded on the YouTube. Do you want me to put you up? Is that what you want? I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all. Somehow the sound is not working, but I just don't want to put you up if that's not what your intention is. You can let me know in the chat too if that's what you're wanting. We just can't hear you.
Okay, so I'm getting that without knowing her name, I'm
Yes, if you can put
taking
her
you
name in the
wrong.
chat, that would be helpful, I think, for people.
Yeah, that would be nice. But I'm getting kind of a she's not a joking person, but she has a strong sense of humor.
Okay, we've got a name.
And
It's Carol Benjamin.
Carol, okay, Carol. I get a picture of a dog, and I get a picture of her. Joking, she is a jokester. She likes to joke around, and trying to just kind of zero in on this. And what I'm getting from her is that she wants you to um, be at peace with yourself. She needs you to be at peace with yourself and not look toward what she may have told you in the past, but what you can communicate to yourself right now and present time. That's the message.
Yes, that focuses on your messages to yourself. I've got Mike, Echo, and Sally in line too. So, Oren, sorry. Oh, if you could just let me know, do you want me to bring you up or not? That's on video. I just can't tell because people will see you.
Yeah, you
There, we can
bring
hear
me
you
up.
now. Bring you up?
It's
Okay, great.
it's whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great. Yeah, we can hear you now so everyone can see. Okay, great. Yeah. All right. So we've got Mike, Echo, and Sally. And Reverend Darryl, if you've got something else you want to share, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah,
Mike.
is this Oren, is that ring true to you?
Uh, yeah, everything. I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense a little bit. I really appreciate you weighing in on the topic, though.
Sure. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Reverend Darryl. Mike is next. You're muted, Mike. We need you unmuted. Mike, wait, Mike, we can't hear you.
There you go.
Okay.
I agree with Reverend Darryl. Your mom is what we used to call in the old days. She's a hoot. She's just a hoot. And I agree that she wants you to look forward, not backwards. She now that she's on the other side, it's like, okay, forget like you said, forget what I tell you, just look forward. And she wants you to know she is totally fine. Just don't worry about her. She's in a good place, I tell you. Based on the cards I've seen, yeah. So nothing to worry
Oh,
about in terms of her.
That's awesome to hear. And then I just wanted to put a PS on Reverend Darryl when you were asking me if it did ring true. Yes, she had this amazing dog, which she left to my sister. But before that, she had a previous dog. So that was kind of cool to hear that she was potentially with her old dog.
Okay, great. So maybe there's nothing else.
He's muted, but I just want to let him know that.
That's great. Mike, you're done. Okay, Echo's next, and then Sally.
I'd just like to tell you that your mom is already connecting through you. She's connecting through your painting. And she's doing that because it's a way that she can get close to you and you can be close together, but without scaring you by actually really seeing her. She's very close to your heart. And that's why she's doing with the painting. And if you ever want to know how that communicates, there's a really good movie to watch. It's called Always, where you a husband dies from his wife through an air accident. But when you watch the interaction between them after, it's quite magical. That might give you a better idea of how your mom's communicating with you.
Thanks, Echo. And next is Sally.
Well, thanks. I'm sorry for your loss, losing your mother, especially if you were close. And I feel that you were, is really tough. It's really one of the hardest ones that there is the loss of your mother, especially if you're very close. My first impression when you asked was that she's smiling. And she's quite delighted when she got on the other side, and she's not embodied, but she's doing just fine. But then I did get a sense that she does miss you, and I love the fact that she's coming through in your paintings already. I have had that same experience that my brother would come through in my paintings and my dogs. All my dogs have come to visit me. So just when you're painting, just let it flow and don't try to control it because she'll come through to speak to you, and just be open to if she talks to you, or she may leave a hint. And sometimes people will they'll leave clues and let you know, or they're communicating with you. And again, you can talk to one of the people here who can connect in a really strong way. But she's okay. She's doing great. She's trying to figure out what her next step is, but she does miss you. And she will always be connected to you, and she will always be with you. I feel her on your left shoulder. She's hanging out on your left shoulder back in this area. So blessings to you. That's one of the toughest ones there is.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone have anything else quick before we need to split up into our breakout rooms? Yeah. Thank you so much for your question. Thank you for sharing with us, and it's great you could come on screen.
A lot of grief tonight.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, that winds up our intuitive panel. And now we're going to be splitting up into breakout rooms for the rest of our fair. The practitioners are offering so many other great things during this process. I just put the list of breakout rooms in the chat. So there are rooms that you can move from on your own back and forth throughout the next 3 hours. There are lots of offerings. Some are talks, some are free or by donation readings and healings, and some are for a small fee. You can watch many of those, and then there are options for doing things in private rooms also. Please go see the rooms, talk to the practitioners, look at doing things with them here at the fair and after the fair. That's what supports us to be able to keep doing these events. We appreciate you being here. If you get popped out at any point, come back to jointhefair.com, and we look forward to being with you again. We've got more fairs coming up also on April 11. from 2 to 6 p.m. Pacific time, Sunday, April 19 from 4 to 8 p.m. Pacific time, and Saturday, May 9 from 3 to 7 p.m. Pacific time. So lots of other fairs coming up. And we're going to be here now for 3 more hours. The talks that are coming up, Echo's getting started first in his breakout room number 6, exploring the Akashic records. And then we have more talks and more events and ongoing offers throughout the evening. All right, I'm going to turn off the video. We're at MeWeFairs.com, and thanks for being here tonight.